Konbanwa, and after some rigorous testing the last week, we're glad to say it looks like the bugs have gone back to their nest and we've returned just in time for the second half of our season. Tonight, the 8th round of Apex Online Racing League comes to you from the twists and turns of Suzuka. It's just me in the commentary box tonight, so send love and flails to Benny and Fizzy, who will hopefully be back with us next week. But before we get on with tonight's action, it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks, in fact, so I think we need a reminder of how things stood in the top tier of our league. Let's take a look at the standings and recap what happened last time in Mexico. After an intense strategic battle for the checkered flag, Baylor took second by just 3/10, 5 seconds ahead of championship rival F1 Racer and taking down fastest lap as well, extending their lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Lucas, however, won the race after dragging their mediums screaming over the line after 24 laps. They close in on F1 Racer but stay in 3rd overall. Matty's 4th place finish puts them 4 points clear of 7th place finisher Maestro Hoffi. After accounting for a desync issue, Kev Genetics closes in their gap. Galaxy's 8th and Crucix's 5th place finish sees them just 1 point apart. Nico only a point further back after an unfortunate DNF in Mexico. Gelbavand finished just outside the points and Persegili an entire lap behind, only a point separating those two. No movement for our mates, but Rivershan's 9th place has put them 2 points clear of Tisu. Garrett rounded out the top 10, closing in on Malkian there, staying in 14th, only 3 points separating them. Over in the Constructors' standings, however, Mercedes draw another 5 points clear of Williams after both drivers were unable to finish, getting a small amount of ground on Aston Martin. AlphaTauri have taken a 9-point lead over Red Bull, putting them only 1 point behind Ferrari, who themselves have closed to just 5 points on Haas. But at the top of the table, extending their lead by another 10 points, is McLaren. And what a 3 weeks it has been. I don't know about you, but I am certainly excited to see what will happen next season when F1 22 comes out on the 1st of July. But before we can even think about the new cars, the new handling, and the new grid, we've still got 6 races left in this season and a couple of months to wait as well. We've got some Alfa Romeo supporters out there in the audience tonight. Good evening and welcome to you. Let's take a look at what tonight's challenge is going to be as we hit the 8 o'clock mark and the last of our drivers starts getting ready. Just cresting the halfway point in the season, a lot can still change in both tables as we head into tonight's Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. And this is the challenge they'll face. 27 laps around this incredible figure-of-8 circuit consisting of 18 turns, 10 to the right and 8 to the left over 5.8 kilometers of track, with the only DRS zone on the cusp of the start-finish line all the way down the home straight. Critical passing opportunities to be had at the Casio Triangle as drivers press hard on the brakes after the infamous high-speed turn of 130R. I'm just being told by our race director that we are waiting on someone who's having some technical difficulties, so we're going to be starting a little bit later than planned tonight. But whilst they're dealing with that, just to let you know of some driver changes that we're expecting tonight. Spearwhip replaces Sky Kartoffel in the Alfa Romeo. We've also got Carlos in Matty's Red Bull tonight, and a new driver to our first tier of racing. Marvin is sitting in the Alpine today instead of Dominic. We're expecting a 19-person grid. However, it seems like we are double checking because there are still quite a few drivers who have missed the call time. So whilst our race director does that, just to let you know of a few things that are going to be happening tonight. As always, we are aware that there have been desync issues over the past few weeks. They seem to have been fixed. However, if we start the race and there is significant desync present, if several drivers complain about desync issues, we're going to restart the race from the grid after qualifying. Should that happen a second and a third time, we will unfortunately have to abandon the race. But given what we saw in testing last week, things are looking promising. So it is just myself, Benny Kage and Bizimon are unfortunately unavailable this week for various reasons. So send them your love, send them your flails. Whilst we're waiting, a quick word about our sponsors tonight. We have SimSok, the only sim racing sock that I'm aware of that has nice little grippy pads on the feet so you don't slip over your pedals, and treated wool so it wicks away the moisture. So no sweaty feet after you've finished 80 laps around your favourite circuit. We are still chasing down some drivers. There are some significant drivers who aren't in yet. They may not have been aware of changes in... Well, no, daylight savings time shouldn't have been an issue. It would have been last race. Thank you very much for, Productive Panda, Bernie, Gamer Content. Thank you very much for being patient with us as we try and sort this out. Looking at those standings again, Lucas has come on quite a surge over the past few races. 3 wins over the course of 7 races here. And it seems that it's very boom or bust for them. Jan Fehler at the top of the league, with F1 Racer following. Matty not driving tonight, so that is big news for Maestro Hoffi, who can try and capitalise on that in the Haas after a few unfortunate races earlier in the season. Then we have Kev Genetics in the Mercedes, who has been a fairly consistent racer all throughout the season. Galaxy, similarly. Pusix, who at Belgium put in an astonishing performance. And of course, bagged fastest lap. Nico, who started out as a reserve driver for us, got signed full-time for Williams, and since then has had their first win. I believe that was back at Jeddah. Okay, I think... Yep. We are going to be racing with a short grid tonight, only 14 races. It seems we haven't been able to get hold of all of our drivers, but it should be a close run thing anyway. We have 2 of our 3 top championship contenders in tonight's race. hopefully we can find out what's happened as we get ready to go into qualifying. What a qualifying session it's going to be. We're expecting pole times of around 1:27.7, 1:27.8, somewhere around there. At least that was my experience last season. As our drivers are getting ready. We can see we've got 14 drivers on today's grid. K's in fact in the Alpine. As I just very quickly everything set up. And here we are at the magnificent Suzuka Circuit. It looks like one of our Haas drivers is going to be the first out. Galaxy is first out on track. We don't have any Saturday night leagues, I'm afraid. Not I'm aware of. At least not in F1. Best place to ask would be our Discord. I'll get you a link for that in the downtime between qualifying and the race. So it looks like Galaxy is going to be our first representative time here. We also have Maestro Hoffi and our mate and Spearwhip coming out on track, Kev Genetics coming out on track as well. Into the 200R here, this is where tyres are going to start feeling some of that degradation throughout the race. Spoon corner. Going to be taking it very slowly through here, but here comes the high-speed turn of 130R. And at the end of here is where we will have a speed detection point. Let's get ready to ride on board with Galaxy around our first lap in this Suzuka Circuit. See what kind of times we're getting out there today. So DRS wide open as we go into turn 1, where you're going to hold onto that throttle, swing into the apex, heavy on the brakes, downshifting through turn 2, taking a little bit of curb on the exit in preparation for the S's. Back up to speed now through 3, slight tap on the brakes, you coast right through the rest of 4, rinse and repeat as you come through 5 and 6, then back on the throttle, lifting slightly to allow you to take the best of the sweeping left-hander of Dunlop full on. Dabbing on the brakes at the 50-meter board for Degner, using the outside curb to take a wide line into 9, downshifting as it runs into the outside edge to allow you to take 10 flat out. Hard on the brakes on the exit though. Down to 2nd for the hairpin. Coasting around the rest of the way. Make sure you straighten the car out before you put power to that engine, otherwise the momentum of your tail end is going to throw you off the track there. Wide entry into Spoon, downshifting as you glide through the apex, taking it wide into 14, downshifting a little bit again, getting as tight as possible on the apex without mounting that banked inside curb. Hard on the throttle down to the closest thing that Suzuka has to a back straight, reaching speeds of over 300 kilometers an hour into probably the fastest turn of the circuit, 130R. Not even lifting if you can handle it. Carry as much of that speed as possible as we approach the Casio triangle. Stamping on the brakes into 16. Feathering the throttle through 17 and across the line in a 129.6. That's on the mediums. And a very good opening time there from Galaxy. especially on those medium tyres. They are going to be a bit slower through qualifying. They are going to last you a lot longer in the race. Our mate currently out ahead. As we can see, a lot of our drivers opting for the softs to start with. Spearwhip being one of them, setting a 1:29.0. Those times are tumbling, as we have some yellow flags flying at the moment. I believe that's some of our drivers just backing off a little to prep for their full lap. Who else do we have? I believe that's Rivershan, who is about to come across the line. The very tight through the Casio triangle there. Across the line in a 1:29.7 puts them P8. The slowest of our medium runners. Failer is on their outlap. We'll see what they can do when they come round. Let's go on board with. Let's go to Crew 6 now, who's just coming out of Casio. 1:25, 1:28, 1:29.7. Looks like they were held up there slightly by something. So currently, Persegili out in front on a 1:28.8. Closely followed by Kev Genetics. And then it's Spearwhip in third, with cresting into the 1:29. Our mate only 3 thousandths of a second behind that. Do have Lucas with us, and it's an invalidated lap there for... That is not the car that I'm spectating. That is surprising. I think that's Crew 6 that we're spectating. We are having some issues with our control board here. Bear with us. Meanwhile, I'm going to go on board with Kev Genetics, who set a 1:28.8. Only a thousandth off our leader. It's very tight here. Yeah, okay. We do have Lucas Eduardo, so our top 3 are all racing tonight. As there's a yellow flag flying. Looks like everything has been resolved, though. Ten minutes left in the session. We stay on board with Kev Genetics. See what they can do here, or are they pulling into the pits? Baylor goes pole with a 1:27.9. So very close to our pole time there. Who else do we have out on track? Lucas Eduardo. 32. .32.0 through the first sector. 5 hundredths slower than Failer through sector 1. Coming into 1:30 now and the second timing line, and it looks like a 39.4 through sector. That doesn't look right. 39.5 for Lucas, who is for some reason showing up as Pierre Gasly. Don't quite know why that's happened. But they go second as they cross the line in 1:28.2. So some of our drivers now opting for the softs for their second run out. A lot of Alfa Romeo supporters in the audience tonight by the look of it. Galaxy improving through Sector 2, 40.1. Slower than most through there. So as we can see, their fastest lap so far, 129.6 on the mediums. Should be fairly easy for them to beat. And fairly easy for them to improve. We've also got our mate behind them who's on an opening lap. That's a purple Sector 2, so fastest Sector 2 of anyone on circuit, apparently. I believe the game is lying to us there. The yellow flag flies in Sector 3, and Galaxy goes P3 with a 128.6. Also about to come across the line is Crew 6. Where are you? Crew 6. Who is currently on their outlap. We have Molkian out there as well. Who is just starting their first flying lap. See how they do. Coming in through Sector 1 now. Into the S's. Letting off the throttle a little bit too much, it feels. Losing some time there. Crossing the Sector 1 line in 32.8. That is a full 5/10 shy of... 3/10 shy of the rest of the field. Of course, we have F1 Racer out on a lap as well. And in fact, just about to come across the line on the mediums. They set a 128.9 on the mediums, no less. There is definitely still time out there. The American tier won't be broadcasted tonight, I'm afraid. Just because American commentator is currently visiting an ill relative, unfortunately. So send hugs and flails to Benikage, who won't be here tonight. We won't be broadcasting it, I'm afraid. There will be some drivers who will be showing their point of view. I think Fizzymon is also unavailable tonight as well. So you've got Murphy, I believe, is usually broadcasts. So also Kaze, a 128.5, putting them firmly in 4th position in the Alpine. They're overtaken by, I believe that was Rivershan, just setting a 128.5 there. Now we can see how small of a gap there is in our qualifying times. Lucas Eduardo about to see if they can improve and take pole. Persegili moves up to 4th. Kev Genetics goes 6th. As yellow flags are being flown all across the circuit, in fact. And with 4 minutes left to go, it is crunch time for our drivers. Crew 6 moving up into 12th. Molkian coming up to 14th with a 129.7. HD Storm now the back of the pack. Let's stay with Lucas here as they cross the Sector 1 line. They haven't improved. They're 3/10 down on their previous time. Hopefully they can find something. Maestro Hoffi is just coming out of the pits as we see a yellow flag in Sector 2, I believe. That is HD Storm taking it slow. Down the back straight. Failer is currently in the pits. Lucas still out there looking for that perfect lap. Let's go with, I believe, Kev Genetics. who has invalidated their lap. Let's go Crew 6. This looks like an in-lap to me. We have Failer and Maestro Hoffy on an out-lap here. Malkian has unfortunately invalidated their lap. Failer coming out for their final try. 3 minutes left on the clock here in qualifying. I don't quite know what's happened in chat there. I'm really sorry. Just bear with me. That is fine. Maestro Hoffy about to set what is probably going to be their final full lap of qualifying. See how they go. So coming into turn 1, taking a very wide angle there, opening it up as much as possible as we come into the S's here. This is where I tend to find drivers losing a lot of time. They either take them too sharp, or they don't get back on that throttle quick enough. Coming across the Sector 1 line here, and it's a 32.098. As they've invalidated their lap, they're going to back out. Go for another one. There is time. Also out there, we have Spearwhip on their qualifying lap. Kaze as well. Spearwhip, I believe, the furthest ahead in terms of setting a time. Unless that's Gelbavand up front. Yes, it is. Gelbavand has run quite wide there. Letting the Haas pass. The Spearwhip is coming up behind. And the clock ticks away. Less than a minute left in this session before the checkered flag is being shown. Let's see if Spearwhip can make most of it. Goes up to P5 alongside their Alfa Romeo chum Persegili. Who do we have further back? Failer is about to cross the line. No, that is HD Storm just starting their lap. We have Gelbavand there. F1 Racer goes second with a 128.0. Taking 9/10 off their time after coming off the mediums here. Lucas starting their flying lap as Failer comes across in a 127.8. Pushing that time further down. See Kaze coming across the line now. I believe that's Malkian just starting their final lap as well. So here come your final times coming across the line. Armate goes P6. Then it looks like it's Rivershan who's going to be our next representative time. And that is not going to be good enough for them. Maestro Hoffy next up, improving by a 10th. Now, less than 100th. Sorry, less than a 10th off their current time. Needs to really pull out something special in Sector 3 here as they cross the line. No improvement. Go up to P3, sorry. P3. Spearwhip pulling into the pits. Then it's Galaxy about to come across the line. No, nothing from them there. Kev Genetics on a flyer of a lap, though, as they go into Sector 3 into the Casio Triangle and invalidates it in the final couple of turns. Kaze about to cross the line there, improving by about a tenth. Let's see if they can make anything of it as they come in and go P8. Then we have, I believe that's Molkian finishing in 12th. So all we have left at the moment is Lucas Eduardo and F1 Racer, who is going into the pit. So Lucas Eduardo is going to be our final time. Let's see if they can... Nope, it's invalidated. They're coming into the pits. So... our final grid, as we see it. Oh, is this... Are we having problems with sound? If we're having sound issues, please let me... Give me more details, and I can try and fix it. So, there are our final standings. Failer and F1 Racer, fully German front row. Maestro Hoffi in the Haas in P2. Then it's Lucas Eduardo, Persegili, our mate in 6th. Spearwidth, I know you're going to be cheering for them. F1 itself, fantastic. Okay, in 7th, Kaze in 8th. It's Rivershan, Kev Genetic, Galaxy, Molkian, Crew 6, Galvavand, and rounding out our grid is HD Storm in 15th there. Those are your... That's your grid. Going into our full race here. Quite the qualifying session there, and our pole time sitting at a 1:27.8. Need to make sure that all the results are sorted. There we go. Okay. Our drivers are getting ready here. So 27 laps around this Suzuka circuit. And I thought it was one that was going to be quite punishing on the tyres with 200R and of course 130R. But our friends at the lab have told us that you can in fact go the full way on the mediums here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with our tyre strategy. As our drivers get ready to go. So, formation lap here, and as we do so, I can tell you that weather-wise, there's a 10% chance of rain for the race. Looks fairly clear. Some light cloud expected to be coming in at some point. There are your suggested strategies. Pirelli and AWS suggesting soft hard or soft medium. Some of our drivers in our testing facility thinking that soft medium can go all the way. Apologies, I'm not in the best of states at the moment, having just recovered. But what's going on with position 3 again? We're having some issues with position 3 on our timing screen. Bear with me. Baylor leading the pack. Then in P2 we have F1 Racer. Maestro Hoffi starting the second row. Then it's Lucas Eduardo. Despite what their number says, they are not Pierre Gasly. Then we have Persegili in 5th, our mate in 6th, Spearwidth in 7th, Kaze in 8th in the Alpine. Then it's an all Mercedes 5th row, Rivershan and Kev Genetics. Galaxy in the Haas in 11th, Molkian in 12th, Crew6 and Galbavand make up the 7th row, and HD Storm bringing up the back of our grid as our drivers get ready to go racing here. I take a large gulp of water. Drivers finally lining up on the grid. Galaxy, Molkian, Crew6 and Galbavand all opting for the mediums. Whereas everybody else opting for the softs here. I think it's going to be a one-stop strategy. As it's 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And hold and go! Very slow start for some of our drivers there. Marvin taking 7th. Galbavand overtaking into... a lot of chopping and changing. Galaxy looking to get up the inside. Galbavand moving up to P11 there. Baylor holding on to the lead of the race. Followed by F1 racer Lucas Eduardo and Persegili in 5th. Armate in 6th. Marvin up to 7th. Sorry. Kaze up to 7th. Spearwhip down to 8th, unfortunately. But that's only the start of the story. Baylor with a dominant lead there as Spearwhip is looking to get it in on... No, Kev Genetics in fact takes the position, or at least tries. Spearwhip with the inside line there. Very slow in these early stages. And Spearwhip down to 9th, but he's not letting it go that easily. Going up the inside here, a little bit of a knock as they run a little bit wide of that turn, and it looks like Spearwhip is now comfortably in 9th. Further towards the front, Lucas Eduardo looking at what they can do. Kaze in 7th here, keeping their eye on the back of the Red Bull of Armate. Baylor sets the fastest lap of the race, and it looks like HD Storm is starting to close in on Molkian, on Crew6, sorry. And in fact, they are much faster down that straight, but don't seem to have the cornering speed to keep up with it. And in fact, no, Crew6 runs wide, and HD Storm moves up into 13th in the McLaren there. Managing to hold on to it. Let's go to Lucas Eduardo, who is again bearing down on that Ferrari, just 3/10 behind. Still says Pierre Gasly on the timing screen, and I really need to fix that. Kaze is actually making ground on Armate. Very difficult to see when they're going this slow, but it's because all of our cars kind of bunched up here. Lucas Eduardo starting to make some gains. Kazi also looking to take 6th. Spearwhip not holding back after dropping 3 places early in the race. Looking to get their eye in on Kev Genetics. Rivershan is dropping back. And we can see Crew6 starting to make some gains on HD Storm there as well. Baylor setting the fastest lap of the race so far. No surprises there. As DRS goes live, Galaxy looking to get an eye in for 11th on the back of Galbavand. All about how you take these S's here. Very smooth, very clean through there. Staying well away from those curbs. Galbavand now catching to Rivershan. And then we have Spearwhip in 9th. Starting to make a little bit of ground on Kev Genetics. Trying to make those places back. Kaze nose to tail with the Red Bull of Armate there. Armate actually outside of DRS of Persegili, which means that Armate is currently the cork in the bottle. up towards the front as our drivers come around Spoon into 130R. F1 Racer seems to be a little bit faster in the straights here. It's certainly catching as we come into the Casio Triangle. A very slow left-right chicane before the DRS comes wide open here. F1 Racer all the way down to Persegili has it. Armate unfortunately losing out. Kaze going for the pass by the look of it around the outside and takes the position, goes up into 6th. Further back, it looks like HD Storm is going to need to get their pedal to the metal to try and make up some time. Now Kaze in the dangerous position here. 1.7 seconds to the next car. They're not going to have the assistance of DRS to help them. The Spear Whip picks up a 3-second time penalty for extending track limits, unfortunately. That's going to see them pushed very far down the order. Back all the way to 14th as it stands. Sorry, 12th as it stands. Unlucky for the Alfa Romeo there, but still plenty of race to go as we get towards lap 4. Lap 5 here. What has happened with Galaxy here? Galaxy has fallen back. What has happened with the Haas driver? They've boxed and they've gone on to the hards. Potentially looking to go all the way here. Did we have any wing damage? Let's leave that for now as Kev Genetics starts to close in on our mate. Kaze keeping their lead. A little bit of a chop and change there for Galbavan and Krusix. And Molkian now bearing down on HD Storm. As it looks like Galbavan is off the track. Those tyres not liking it. Marvin, their front wing has gone and they are out, and that is a safety car. What has happened here? Oh, it looks like they've just they've taken Dunlop a little bit too fast and they've gone off and into the wall. That's Kaze out of the race. Full-blown safety car, which means a lot of our drivers are going to get a free pit stop here, if they so choose. As I said, word from the engineers is that the mediums can go all the way. Marvin, unfortunately, unable to finish as we move into lap 6 and our safety car starting to take its position. This is good news for Galaxy because this means that pit stop is going to come back to them, as it looks like Baylor is coming into the pits. F1 Racer is in the pits. Eduardo is in the pits. Maestro Hoffi is in the pits. Baylor coming out. Everyone opting for the pit, it looks like. Except for Krusix. Krusix, on the mediums, knows he can go the whole way. And takes pole. Galbavand just behind, so it's an Aston Martin 1-2 right now, but Failer on the fresher mediums. 5 laps fresher, in fact. We go to F1 Racer in 4th, then it's Eduardo in 6th. Maestro Hoffi in... Sorry, Eduardo in 5th, Maestro Hoffi in 6th, Persegili in the Alfa Romeo in 7th. Red Bull of Armate in 8th, Kev Genetics in 9th, Spearwhip in 10th. Quite costly for them there. Rivershan in 11th, HD Storm 12th, Molkian in 13th, and Galaxy bringing up the rear, opting to take the pit stop to go back onto the mediums. They know they're going to be able to catch up with everybody before we go green. We're going to stick with Galaxy to see if they can catch up to the pack. Currently about 23 seconds behind the pace. I imagine the safety car is going to be going out another lap. As all of our drivers go on fresher tyres. Have a look at that tyre situation. And we can see Galbavand and Krusix opting to stay out. Everybody else, fresh tyres. Some people opting for the hards. Which, unfortunately, is probably not going to pay off for them, because we know that mediums can go the whole race. See what the change in standings is right now. Krusix and Galbavand both gaining 12 places. Feather and F1 Racer having dropped back because of that. Lucas Eduardo. Maestro Hoffi down 3. Persegili down just those 2. Kev Genetics has actually gained 1 over the course of the race. Spearwhip down 3. Rivershan down 3. Volkian pulling into the pits for another set of mediums. Knows they can probably catch up to the pack. The tyres are going to be slightly fresher than everybody else's, not by much, as we are running under safety car. These laps aren't going to be doing much in terms of tyre deg. In fact, it looks like it's going to be about 2% tyre wear over the course of the safety car lap. I do need to fix my timing as well. Looks like we're going to go green very shortly. Whilst we are waiting for that, I'm going to change Pierre Gasly to... Oh! That looks like our mate. What happened? Our mate's front wing is gone. I couldn't possibly say what happened there. Very unusual for someone to spin out under safety car. The safety car's coming in this lap, so our mate's not going to get benefit. As we prepare to go green. Okay, safety car coming in, and we are green. Krusix leading, followed by Galbavand and Failer. Galbavand going for the overtake up the inside. Doesn't look like they're going to make it. Yes, they do. Krusix down to second. Failer moves up to third. F1 Racer pulls back into fifth. Our mate still in the pits. Lucas Eduardo here. Galbavand and Krusix will still need to stop at some point during the race. As we start to get representative tyre wear from our drivers. Looks like Kev Genetics is trying to go up the outside of Persegili. Persegili has lost it and moves down into 8th. Kev Genetics getting a very easy pass into 7th there. Very smooth, very easy. Lucas starting to close in on Jan Failer here. Just 2/10 separating them. Meanwhile, up front, Galbavand is pulling away 7.5 on Krusix. Further back, Spearwhip is starting to gain on Persegili. 2/10 the distance. They come into the Casio Triangle for the first time. Our mate, in fact, 27 seconds back. A lot of time to make up. It's those hards. Those hards are not doing spear width any favours, unfortunately. No DRS just yet. We'll be going live next time around, though. But we won't get it until lap 3 because the DRS detection zone is before the line. So, Crew 6 and Failer battling for second position here. F1 Racer is staying comfortably in 5th. Maestro Hoffy here, so looking to make a little bit of time potentially, who knows? Oh, and it looks like Kev Genetics is going around the outside, and it's a spin for Jan Failer. And that is absolute heartbreak. Jan Failer brings it round, probably clipping the curb on the way through. That pushes them all the way down to 13th, which means that Lucas Eduardo moves up to 3rd. Quite the flare up for the tyres there as well. As F1 Racer starts to close in the gap. The thing with Suzuka here is through the S's and through the Casio triangle, as DRS gets enabled here, the cars do start to bunch up very tight, but you're having to brake early to make sure you don't hit that car in front. So here we go. Gelbovan leading the race. Crew 6 behind. Lucas looking to get an eye in with F1 Racer behind. Maestro Hoffy not far behind them either. Just 2 tenths separating them. Baylor really needing to get their skates on here. Need to start catching up, and those mediums need to come back down to temperature as they set a purple sector 1. 33.3 as Lucas Eduardo goes up the inside of Crew 6 for second place in the race. And it looks like that's not all. F1 Racer is looking for an eye in as well. Crew 6 may have taken the turn a little bit wider there than expected, and Lucas able to capitalise. Gelbovan is served a 3-second time penalty for running wide through Spoon. F1 Racer here. Apologies. F1 Racer. Oh, and somebody is round. It looks like it's Rivershan. Rivershan now all the way down to 13th. Failer has managed to capitalise on that and move all the way up to 10th. As Galaxy and Malkian and Rivershan all pull into the pits. Is there a three-way tussle there? Lucas Eduardo taking the... And it looks like Gelbovan has had some trouble as well. Dropping all the way down to 8th position. Possibly running off track there. Lucas Eduardo now out in the lead. F1 Racer behind Crew 6 in 3rd. Maestro Hoffy looking up for the inside. In the hairpin and manages to take 3rd position in the race. Crew 6 is not going to like that. And of course, the big thing they need to do here is stay within DRS range of F1 Racer. Otherwise, they're going to be a sitting duck come the home stretch. Crew 6 gaining 3 seconds of time penalties for running wide as well. But behind Crew 6 is Kev Genetics, who is basically neck and neck and has managed to make the pass round the outside. Crew 6 wheel to wheel there as they come through the Casio triangle and managing to hold on. Crew 6 still with the DRS, and Kev Genetics going around the outside as we come into 1st. And Kev Genetics, taking the inside, but he's going to have the outside for turn 3. And it's Kev Genetics' round, a little bit of a bump there has seen them go all the way around and down into 10th. Maestro Hoffy now up into 3rd. Crew 6 has also had issues. It looks like a little bit of a tussle between the two of them there has cost them both position. Maestro Hoffy now up to 3rd. And then it's a while back to Persegili. 1.5 seconds as Molkian has retired from the session. And it is a full-blown safety car. There we see Molkian in the barrier. So, as we hit our second safety car of the race, coming up to 12 laps in, Lucas Eduardo has the race lead. Followed by F1 racer Maestro Hoffy in 3rd, Persegili in 4th, Spearwhip and Gelbavand in 5th and 6th respectively. Those time penalties, Spearwhip with 6 seconds of penalties now, are going to be costly if we continue to see safety cars throughout the race. Means they're going to need to drag up more time. Lucas opting to pit, F1 racer staying out. Where will Lucas come out? Gelbavand, Failer, HD Storm and Kev Genetics all opting to pit, possibly thinking the softs will go all the way here. Meanwhile, F1 Racer, 6 lap old mediums. We reckon there's about 7 or 8 laps before they move out of their optimum range here. Obviously, accounting for 2 laps behind the safety car, that's going to be more like 8 or 9, which is going to give us lap 22 before we even see them start to degrade significantly. So they can go the full way of the race. Galaxy pulling into the pits as well. So, and our second safety car of the race, and coming up to the halfway point, F1 Racer is your leader. But on older tyres than most of the field, 6 laps old. Maestro Hoffy right behind them on a similar strategy. Persegili as well in 3rd in the Alfa Romeo, which I know that people in the crowds are going to be baying for right now. Spearwhip in 4th on the hards, which is an interesting strategy. They've got 6 seconds of time penalties to their name though. Lucas Eduardo coming out in 5th, then opting for the mediums to go the whole way. Gelba maybe thinking the softs won't do it here. Gelbavand coming out on the softs though, 3 seconds of penalties to them though. Failer opting for the softs. Armate staying out on 4 lap old mediums. After a bit of a crash, Molkian has left the session there. Then it's HD Storm and Kev Genetics, both on fresh mediums. Crew 6. Armate opting to pit. Interesting strategy. Are they going on to the softs? Let's see. Looks like they're opting for the softs. Softer tyre. They're being held for some reason. Was that a front wing change? Was that a front wing change? Let's have... So Galaxy having a front wing change early on. Armate, that's where it is. So 4 drivers going in for and another front wing change for Armate there and Kev Genetics. Well. We know Armate's probably going to be able to catch up to the group. Probably not going to be safety car in this lap. Just because Armate is still dragging behind and the safety car, I believe, has only been out for 1 lap so far. I've run out of water. So if the safety car is going to stay out another lap, then I'm going to go and grab a glass of water. If not, we're going to run dry. Interesting strategy from Spearwhip here. And some of our drivers opting for mediums. Maybe it is the crossover point for the two tyres. Already we've seen quite the variation in strategies between our drivers. That's a green light on the safety car, I believe, in this lap. Yes, okay. So, up towards the front, it's F1 Racer and Maestro Hoffy battling for position, but telling point is going to be Lucas Eduardo on Spearwhip. F1 Racer holding the starting pistol as we go green. Maestro Hoffy looking for any way round. Of course, DRS not activated for another 2 laps because we've had a full-blown safety car here. And you can see Galbavand is bearing down on Lucas Eduardo there. Lucas Eduardo, though, on the fresher and softer compound of tyres to Spearwhip. But it looks like Galbavand was looking for an entrance there. Failer, however, manages to get past in 6th, taking a little bit of sausage on the way out of the turn there. Keeping it on the track and moves up to 6th position. As Galaxy and Rivershan are battling it out. Moving up. And, oh, it's another yellow flag. It's Spearwhip and Lucas. And it's another safety car. Lucas has lost their front wing. And Spearwhip as well. It looks like the two of them possibly came together. They're going to be coming into the pits for a wing change. And while you're at it, why not get some fresh tyres? Who else is going to be diving in as well? Maestro Hoffy pulling the trigger. 7-lap-old mediums probably thinks they can go on softs till the end here. Rivershan opting for it as well as Spearwhip and Lucas Eduardo. We're going to stay with Maestro Hoffy right now. Lucas Eduardo is retiring from the session. I don't know what happened with Maestro Hoffy there. They just disappeared. So there we have Lucas Eduardo out of the race. One of our championship rivals here. Maestro Hoffy potentially looking to make big gains on them here after... if they can stay in the points. So, safety car is currently out. Lap 16. So, we will have 9 laps to go once we cross the timing line this time round. As it stands, F1 Racer out in front, but still on older tyres than the rest of the grid. Failer bearing down on both F1 Racer and Persegili. On a softer compound and less worn compound of tyres. Then it's HD Storm and Kev Genetics on the mediums. Crew 6 and Galaxy, our mate Maestro Hoffy, Rivershan and Spearwhip, and our pack is bunched up. Just going to make sure that the safety car isn't coming in this lap, because if it is, I'm going dry again. No, okay, I'm going to leave you in the faithful hands of Spearwhip, because a lot of people... Okay. But they're coming into at the hairpin. Huh? Lucas saying that they were at fault for that. Okay. No, how can you wish that on someone? I'm sorry, no. Incidents happen. Spearwhip getting a 5-second penalty because they collided with Rivershan and a safety car. So that's 11 seconds of penalties to their name now. As we get ready to go green, F1 Racer holding the starting pistol this time as we come across the line. Why is the safety car still out? 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 It said it was coming in this lap. Okay. That's odd. What? This is very odd. I'd like other people to confirm this for me. The safety car's lights did go green, right? And it did say safety car in this lap. It is just me in the commentary box, so I've got no one to verify this with. Maybe I am going crazy. So, what caused the extra safety car there? I am genuinely confused as to what just happened. We're gonna have to watch the footage back after the race, because I'm certain it said safety car in this lap. Okay, safety car in this lap. Maybe it was another message that I didn't see. Okay, F1 Racer holding the starting pistol, backing everybody up. They're going to have Persegili to contend with, and Failer on fresher, softer tyres as soon as they go across that timing line. Starting pistol in hand, and it looks like pedal to the floor for F1 Racer as we go green. So into first, F1 Racer out in front, followed by Persegili, Failer, Gelbavand currently in fourth, but that penalty is going to cause them some strife. Spearwhip serving that 5-second penalty in the pit lane, and has actually moved up to 11th place. Gelbavand now dropping back, I think. Take it easy, chat. Take it easy. Incidents happen. Incidents happen. Lucas has apologized. They've admitted it's their fault. Save everything else for the stewards. So F1 Racer currently leading the pack. Then there's a bit of a gap back to HD Storm, who seems to be the cork in the bottle for everybody else right now. Looks like Kev Genetics is trying to sneak past, and has done so, moving them up to 4th. F1 Racer setting the fastest lap of the race so far with 1:30. HD Storm. Is this team tactics here? HD Storm really backing the pack up a full 3 seconds. As Galaxy gets past as well. And we have, well, after this lap, 7 laps to go in this race as our mate takes the inside on HD Storm, moving up in 7th. Up towards the front, F1 Racer and Perseguili are battling it out. Baylor still bearing down on them. Kev Genetics has got a lot of ground to make up if they want any chance at a podium. River Shan side by side with Maestro Hoffy as they come into 130R. Looks like Maestro Hoffy coming out on top there. River Shan, however, has the inside for the truck. Doesn't keep it though, and in fact almost loses 10th because of it. Spear whip side by side as they come down the home stretch. And then we have Gelbavand right at the back. Battling there between Rivershan and Spearwhip. See how HD Storm is getting on. Maestro Hoffy bearing down on them behind. Seem to be making many gains through the S's there. Hairpin is where it's telling for a lot of people though. As we start to look towards the front of our grid. There's a yellow flag. That is Gelbavand. Nice camera work. There we go. Gelbavand, who has lost their front wing, and that is a virtual safety car being called. Virtual safety car. So as it stands, all our drivers will go down to 60% of their race pace. They're not allowed to overtake in these conditions. So F1 Racer, Perseguili and Failer currently out in front. And it's quite a gap to Kev Genetics. Kev Genetics closing that gap though under virtual safety car. I'm glad we're making up in chat. Glad we're making up. DRS is enabled. We are back live. Virtual safety car ended. So this next time round, DRS is going to be active. Perseguili. Oh, I've hit the wrong button. Perseguili actually starting to get within considerable distance of F1 Racer, needing to keep needing to keep within striking distance so they can have DRS on lap 23. 5 more laps to go after this one. Failer looks like they're starting to make some gains. F1 Racers tyres now past the optimum point. So Perseguili's probably feeling the same here. Baylor behind them on the softer tyre. Only 8 laps on those soft. Setting the fastest sector 2 of the race so far. And is making time on Perseguili. as they come into the home stretch. DRS for the first time. Let's see what happens. Persegili is going to have that extra speed to be able to get past F1 Racer, and does so. Now the question, is Failer going to be able to capitalize on that as well? No, it doesn't look like it. So Persegili has put themselves in a bit of a situation here. Further towards the back, we can see Galaxy behind Crew 6. Then it's a bit of a gap to Kev Genetics. Then it's our front three. Crew 6 being the cork in the bottle here. Kev Genetics out as an island on their own as we come into the spoon. Galaxy is actually gaining time here on Crew 6. Not significant time, but is still gaining time with 4 and a bit laps to go. Tries to take the wide angle as we come into 130R. Stays within striking distance as we come into the Casio triangle. Up towards the front though. Baylor unfortunately not able to make the pass. Galaxy making the pass on Crew 6 though, and R-Mate to boot. Galaxy up to P5, R-Mate up to P6. Crew 6 dropping back as a result. And now Galaxy is the cork in the bottle here. Kev Genetics 2.8 seconds out in front. Can probably feels fairly safe right now, because if they're going to keep going back and forth like this, they're going to keep dropping back and dropping back and dropping back. Out towards the front, Jan Failer currently in the bronze medal position, 3rd place, 3/10 behind F1 Racer. Those mediums showing their age now. Those softs are also going to start going off fairly soon as well. There's a very brief window that Failer's got here where they're going to have the tyre advantage. Sorry, well, they're going to have significant tyre advantage, I should say, as they come into the home stretch for what will be the anti-penultimate time. Let's see what they can do. Persegili out in front, F1 Racer behind. Failer looking to see if they can get anything here. No. Further back, Galaxy is going to be fending off R-Mate as they come into first, and it looks like Galaxy has managed it. Whereas Crew 6 gets themselves a 3-second time penalty for their trouble, bringing them up to 6 seconds total. Which is going to be very costly considering the late safety car and late VSC that we had. Just how bunched up that pack is. So, current big battle going on is for second between Jan Failer and F1 Racer. Kev Genetics keeping a very stable 2 seconds behind. Then it's Galaxy who's fallen back further. 3.4 seconds for 4th place. Doesn't look like there's going to be much going there, so everybody in that backpack battling for 5th place. Of course, Crew 6 and Spearwhip probably out of contention at this point with 6 seconds of time penalties each. Jan Failer starting to make gains as they move into 130R. Now just a 10th separating them from F1 Racer. And they're going round the outside, sorry, inside into the Casio triangle, but they're going to have the outside for the next turn. They're coming to the final corner, and here goes lap 26. 2 laps to go here, and we're on board with Failer as they make the pass up the inside of F1 Racer and manage to hold on just about, and R-Mate has taken from Galaxy as well. And I think we had a swap in Maestro Hoffi as well. Kev Genetics is getting yellow flagged as F1 Racer goes off the track. And risky rejoin there as they plummet down to 11th. They're going to be in 10th after penalties though. So still in contention for points. Now comes the question, can Persegili break that DRS from Jan Fehler? Persegili looking to gain some serious points for Aston Martin here. Sorry, Alfa Romeo here. So many A's. Fehler gaining though just 8.5 tenths separating them. Kev Genetics a full 2 seconds back. Then it's 3.5 seconds back to our mate. This next home stretch could be where it is won and lost. Fehler now down to just 5 tenths on Persegili. Probably really pushing here. Probably using all of their ERS. They're down to 13%. Not going to have much to do. Whereas Persegili has been saving it up. 40% left. And in fact, it doesn't look like Fehler can do anything about it. Spear Width catching another 9 seconds of 3 seconds of time penalties, bringing them up to 9. And a yellow flag is being shown. That is Galbavan. They are round again. A Spear Width goes 9th. But not for long, unfortunately, with those penalties. Galbavan is back up and running in 12th. And that is probably where they're going to stay for the rest of the race, unfortunately. So here's the thing. Jan Fehler does theoretically have one more chance left to take the lead of the Grand Prix. Persegili needs to defend hard for the last few turns. 130R and the straight going into it are where Fehler's probably got the big advantage. But outside of that, there's a little bit of DRS they're going to get, but not much out of the Casio triangle. Galaxy starting to make gains on our mate here. It does look like this is our final race standing. So let's go up towards the front as Persegili is going to take the checkered flag. And in fact, I believe that Fehler is outside of DRS. And there we have it. Persegili first. Fehler second. Kev Genetics third. Our mate takes 4th with Galaxy not far behind. Crucix 6th on track but goes down to 7th with Maestro Hoffy, HD Storm and Rivershan taking the points. Spear Width rounds out our points finishes. With F1 Racer actually taking it because of time penalties. So 10. And then Galbavan is going to be our last driver to finish across the line there. So Persegili taking home 25 points there. Galaxy with the fastest lap of the race. So a bonus point for the Haas team there. Then we have Fehler. Big news for Alfa Romeo there. Fehler in second. They're going to be extending their championship lead as Lucas crashed out an F1 Racer, only taking home 1 point. Quite the race out there today. Games driver of the day going to Kev Genetics, and I agree with that. I agree with that. So, final standings. As we see Persegili celebrating. I believe that's their first win. I believe that's their first win of the season. That's how the standings look. There are your penalties and your DNFs, unfortunately. Galbavan with the fastest lap of the race. But 435 is probably the next one. So Galaxy taking the point. Go to your race director very quickly before we lose it. Collisions in lap 1. Warnings being handed out for track limits. A severe collision being given spear with Lucas Eduardo. Then, there we are. There is your full race director there. Let's go back to the home and back to the commentary box. As we get confirmation of our results. Just waiting for everything to come through. Thank you. What a race. I mean, it was 2 safety cars and a VSC. Some of our drivers struggling for grip out there as well. Especially on those curbs. We're just confirming a few things. There we go. Okay, so have a look now. Okay. Ooh. Quickly get these race results up. Let's have a look at understanding while we wait for our drivers to cool off and come into the Discord for some post-race interviews. And what? Oh! It has been quite the shake-up in the standings, I'll tell you that much. As I just move everything across. Lost my... Okay. Apologies if there was any audio doubling there. As I quickly sort this out. There we go. Close there. So, let's take a look at what that has done to our standings. So Fela still leading the championship with 138 points now. 46 points clear of F1 Racer, who took home 1 point tonight. Then Lucas did not finish, so unfortunately stays on 87. Kev Genetics, though, big news for them. Big news for them indeed. As they move up 2 places to 4th in our overall league standings. Getting the race results up as well. Kev Genetics finishing in 3rd, taking home 15 points, catapulting them up to 4th overall in the standings, past Maestro Hoffy, who only took 8 tonight. Then Matty didn't appear tonight. Persegili, though, up 4 places after their first win of the season. They've got the full set now, gold, silver and bronze. Galaxy moves down a place, having taken 11 points for tonight's race due to their fastest lap. Crew 6 finishing just inside the points, 2 points to them, but not enough to see them stay in position. They're on 44. Nico didn't race tonight. Gelbervan finished outside the top 10. Our mate finishing 4th, moving up to 34, so tying on points with Gelbervan, but Gelbervan winning that on countback. Then we have HD Storm taking their first points of the league. 6 points, bringing them up to 16th ahead of Garrett and John. Bearwhip we see there, after finishing the race, moving up to 19th overall on countback, and then rounding out our top 21, Dominic in the Alpine. Just double checking to see if we have any drivers. Not. Going to end there. Whilst we wait, let's see what that's done to the constructors' standings. McLaren extending their lead at the top, now 25 points clear of Haas. Ferrari really need to worry about Red Bull now, as they've climbed up to 4th on 95. It's only 1 point back to AlphaTauri, so very close battle for 3rd. Then we have Mercedes, who, thanks to the work of... There we go. Thanks to the work of Kev Genetics and Rivershan tonight, move up 1 to 6th. Aston Martin only scoring 2 points from Crew 6 tonight. Alfa Romeo, the big winners though, 25 points from Persegili. Spearwhip unable to score, and is a reserve driver, so wouldn't be scoring for Alfa Romeo anyway. But they move up to 8th on 58. It's 20-point gaps all the way down until we reach Alpine, where 30 points separates them from the rest of constructors. And what a Grand Prix it was. Next week, I believe it's next week. I will have to confirm it's next week. But we are going to Melbourne in next week's 9th round here at Apex Online Racing. There will be a North American League race tonight, but unfortunately, due to family commitments, Benny is unable to make tonight's stream, so there will not be any commentary for tonight's North American race. We'll be back next week at the same time for Melbourne, and that's pretty much it from us here tonight. Thank you very much to all of our drivers who came along. Thank you very much to you who've been watching. Thank you to our sponsors, SimSok and Driver61. Didn't talk much about Driver61, did I? Driver61 is the driver coaching academy. You can catch links from them in our description. They not only have coaching sessions available, they also have resources on their website. Go check them out, because I believe not only do they do F1, they do ACC as well, and also I think they've done some live stuff as well on actual tracks, actual circuits. So go check them out. But that's all from us here tonight at Suzuka. As always, Matai Rishu, and drive safe.